showcase that explain the smaller, bigger but still small theropod dinosaurs. And we've got a wide variety because some of them have actually evolved differently. I think Herrerasaurus here is like the biggest one, but let's start with the smallest one I see, Coelophysis. Now actually I'm going to do capture mode. Now as you can see, this would be very basic. The claws and teeth of a Coelophysis, including, as you can see here, a notch in the jaw, would allow the flesh to be sliced, causing, obvious bleeding. There's not much I can say for this one.
Shut up, Dylan.
Proceratosaurus and Monolophosaurus. Our Monolophosaurus here has more conical teeth, but basically they do what Coelophysis could do, but on a much grander scale. Now, Herrerasaurus here, as the biggest creature here, has what I believe to be the most powerful bite, which would, if those jaws were able to latch around the neck, it would be over pretty quickly. And that is if Herrerasaurus can catch you off guard. Now then, this guy you may remember from a previous game from a long bygone era. This is Troodon, but as they were in Jurassic Park the game, made by Telltale, they were described as Troodon pectinodon. Now then, the claws of a Troodon is not what you fear from this creature. What you should fear from InGen's Troodon is their venomous bite. The venom is so potent, so incredibly powerful. It is so fast acting. It is a debate whether or not the Scorpius has the more powerful venom or not. Because at first, the Troodon's venom can cause hallucinations at the beginning, but as time goes on, it begins to become progressively worse, with victims who've been bitten showing and behaving like an animal who has rabies. However, eventually it ends up with paralysis of the body, and then eventually you are alive at the end of it, but only by the most sheer of technicalities, because at that point you would hardly even be considered brain dead, as the Troodons rip your guts open and lay their eggs inside you. As to why they do this, I have no clue. So we're going to move on to the larger but the more famous member of the group of Dromaeosaurs, the Velociraptor, and I chose Blue to do this because she's also the most famous. Velociraptors are incredibly intelligent creatures, and obviously the most lethal weapons these animals have are those toe claws, which can gut, slice, and disembowel their prey, in addition to whatever bites and slashes used by the arms. Now, obviously, because there are many different variants of raptor, including two Sorna variants, in which ones are ambush hunters who lurk in tall grass fields, and the other one, they actually set traps, as we've seen in Jurassic Park 3. This can basically do what Velociraptor can, but on a much more dangerous scale because of the aquatic element added to Pyroraptor, partially due to the fact that when we saw it in Jurassic World Dominion, it had the capability of swimming. Now, I saved this one for last because out of all the dinosaurs in this game, and more importantly, the ones right here, this one's my most favorite. Australovenator. I need to open its mouth a little bit. There we go. So, Australovenator has curved teeth. And more than likely, if we look at it closely, those look like they're made out of hair. I'm going to zoom out a bit. These teeth more than likely have small serrations. So does the Troodon before I move on. Meaning whatever bites and slashes can be dealt to their prey will inflict massive bleeding. But the arms of the Australovenator are powerful. I had a slight dyslexia moment. With these claws, they'll be able to latch onto their prey, doing whatever stabbing and slashing motions is needed. So, before I continue, 2 more videos are going to come out for later today, because I think I'm going to finish, because I've been slamming videos today. So I'm going to do, there's some news I want to get out of the way first. I'm actually going to save it right here, so I can just hop back to it. So, one video is going to discuss the new information coming out, my thoughts on it, what it means. And then finally, it's going to be, there's going to be one more video, and I think I'm going to throw it, I'm going to throw it for Therizinosaurus, and I'm going to throw it for Therizinosaurus and Iguanodon. So we're actually going to talk a bit. So when it comes to Jurassic, I'm actually going to use a little bit of a discussion real quick. I downloaded something called ChatGPT. And everyone knows about it. So what I just this was like, this is more I've typed in some concepts, and they're more creative than, honestly, anything I could have ever anticipated someone or something to make. Give me a second. Okay, so one of the things it created was a invasive species DLC, and it added some new creatures. Okay, so here's what it is. I actually created 2 of them. Alright, so the Jurassic World... Alright, so here's the one I just now typed in. The Jurassic World Evolution DLC, based on invasive species, could include new dinosaur species that were introduced into the system and had a...
There's stuff going on. How you doing?